Hello and welcome to the Animazing Podcast. This is Omega D.
And this is Modi.
And we are talking about one of my personal favorite films, Promare. So, what you liked, what you didn't like, go.
So in general, I liked Promare. I guess the thing I liked the most about it, like how unique it is with the colors.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I know that seems like just like a really basic thing, but I guess that's the thing that stands out the most about it. Oh, and also like the fire. Like the fire looked. I wish like all fire looked like that.
Did you ever? And I love how like the whole dichotomy between the fire and ice, where all the fire is like triangles, where all the ice are like cubes.
Oh, I did not even notice that. Huh.
Yep.
And the ice also. The ice felt. Was the ice CG?
Some of it.
Okay, because it felt really solid. I don't know. It was like right like on the edge between like feeling 2D and feeling CG, you know, but it felt 2D but like was just like a heaviness to it. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so visual wise, the movie was really good. And I liked the premise. The premise was very unique. I've never seen it like this, except for the evil guy wants to take a few people and it to die. That's basic. But like the whole interdimensional flame beings, that's never seen something like that.
Yeah.
And the only real downside of the movie that I thought was just that it was too fast paced for me.
You plebeian. We be plebeian.
Yeah. What about you? What good, bad?
So, I love this film. It was actually one of my favorite anime. I love that it's such a giant love letter to, like, Studio Trigger at its maximum Studio Triggeriness.
I agree with that.
Like, the anime was great. The fight scenes were awesome. It literally had a single thing I love about anime crammed into it with giant robots, crazy poses, over-the-top character, awesome fight scenes, superpower, and giant robots. I said that twice, but I really like giant robots. And I really appreciated how it didn't take itself too serious. And the thing I also liked a lot about it was there were a lot of both live-action, animated, Western, and Eastern, where they try to cram a full episode series into 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
This felt like that, and it felt like the only series to do it right.
Yeah.
Only film to do it right.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like this. In fact, I would go even further, and I would say that the like this would be much worse as a series. Like if really? I feel like if this was like a full series, like a 12 episode, I actually would probably hate it because because I feel like the story just isn't like because for me the main argument for something being longer, like for something being a series rather than a movie, is just that the story should be fleshed out. But I don't think it's possible to flesh out the story. Like even if you tried, it just it would take away from it. Like you just want to like go in, like it's like a flash, you know, like a flash of light. Like and you don't want it to drag too long, because if it drags too long, then you start to actually think too much. And then you probably, I feel like you would notice a lot of flaws in the story and plot, like crazy number of plot holes and things that don't make sense if it was longer.
I completely agree with that. And in fact, one of the things that kind of bugged me most was, I think the moment where I was like, the writing quality itself really hit me was the scene where they're doing the backstory for the big general guy. That was such an exposition dump. That was such a hard exposition dump that it really took me out of the movie for that 1 second.
Wait, when they were doing what for the, like, are you talking about like the governor?
Yeah, like Evil All Might, or
Evil
like
All Might. That's so good, actually. That's literally what he is. He's literally Evil All Might. He actually reminded me a little of Shanks in One Piece, because Shanks also sacrificed his arm to save Luffy. But yeah, sorry, I got you off track. Go back to what you're.
Like, it's like right after the moment where he Gallo. I was about to call him Kamina because it's like right after like Gallo Kamina gets his first medal, and they do this whole huge dump where they're like talking at a pizza place, and I was just like, oh, that existed to like exposition.
Yeah.
But luckily, the animation is so fast, and the film it goes at brisk, really awesome pace. You don't really notice it as.
Yeah, I feel like I'm glad that happened though. I'm glad they delivered it that way, because if they had tried to deliver the exposition, the only other way to deliver exposition in like a more natural way, it would have to be spread out. And I feel like if it was spread out, and if like this whole thing was a series or something, I don't think, even despite all the visuals, I don't think it would keep my attention long for me to stick around like the exposition. So I'm glad that they just like got it out the way.
You know, I'm really happy that after Darling in the Franxx, and as was an awesome show, Studio Trigger finally figured out how to stick the landing when it comes to the.
Oh
but
yeah.
We ahead of ourselves. But one thing I did kind of this, and is something that like makes me that this would worked a lot better if it was like a long running. It has a bunch of these like dun 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 reveals that I feel like they just didn't have time to like set. It felt like payoff without the setup. Like the whole thing with the love interest sister working with Armstrong. Again, I keep wanting to call him Armstrong, the governor.
Oh, okay, Craig.
Yeah, Governor Craig. I said that name on purpose. Like, when you find out that her sister is, like, working with Governor Craig, I feel like if there was, like, a little bit more setup, that felt like a big, shocking heel that was supposed to get, like, an emotional reaction, but it just didn't. The other thing was, like, Craig being revealed to be the villain. I feel like that was supposed to be a really big emotional moment, but I was just like, I've only known this guy for, like, 5 seconds, and we've never really seen him do any of that really big heroic stuff. So it's like,
oh, I see what you're saying. That's true. I didn't think about that, because yeah, you're right. That definitely feels like the kind of thing that would be a big moment. But I didn't mind much. And in fact, I don't know. Maybe I think I'm probably just I'm probably looking at this movie different than most people who watch this, because I've never finished a Trigger show. Like I think I've started all the Trigger shows, and I've never finished one. And I think I think the opposite of what you said. I think all the Trigger shows, looking back now, all of them should have just been movies, because that would have greatly increased my chance of actually finishing them. Because I don't think, to be completely honest, I don't think like Trigger shows, the strength lies in the story. I really don't.
No.
And to me, that's the thing that like, that's the main thing that's going to hook me. Nothing else will hook more than that. So if it's not going to have that, then it better be short. Like I want it, like it might as well just be like a really cool, super good looking action movie. And I'm perfectly okay with that, because I can just like kind of ignore, that the story stuff.
Yes. Because like that was so for Gridman, because there were so many, like, I think there were like, count the number of minutes actiony stuff and count the number of minutes where the plot progressed. I swear to God, it feels like the plot progressed only for like 40 minutes out of that 12-minute show.
Yeah. Wow.
The rest of it was just like them meandering around a bit, like.
Yeah. I think I watched probably like the first 2 episodes, and yeah, I did feel a little. Although I just chalked it up to it being the beginning of the show, but I guess.
Yeah. But again, like, Trigger finally stuck the landing with this. I've only finished 3 Trigger properties. I finished Gurren Lagann, which debatable whether that's Trigger or not. I feel like a lot of people kind of switched studios, and a lot of people who worked on Gurren Lagann went to Trigger. Yeah. But I finished that.
Oh, actually,
Gridman.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
And I finished this. But what were you going to say?
I was going to say, so I said Trigger stories aren't good, but I take that back, because Gurren Lagann, I think, had a good... And in fact, the reason that I stopped watching it had nothing to do with that. It was because I was kind of sad that and that's like as far as I got, like when he died. And yeah, that was really all it was. But yeah, I feel like, so are you saying that, like, so did Gurren Lagann have a good, like, are you saying Trigger, like, did it not have a good ending? Like, do they not have good endings? Because I haven't heard that.
So they said the ending for Darling in the Franxx was rough. The ending for Gridman was... It was either mind-blowingly awesome or really freaking bad. And I'm not smart enough to tell you which was which. Let me say this. It put a close on the story, and it left me with a reaction.
I feel like that's exactly how I feel about Promare.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the Promare ending was especially great. I just thought it was like, all right, now we're gonna end the ride and end it off in like a nice splash. Like to me,
Are you saying the ending
I don't.
wasn't good?
Hmm?
Are you telling me the ending was not to your liking?
No. It no, neither. It wasn't good or bad. I think it was just an ending. Like I didn't. It was just like expected. You know, like basically
Oh,
like the
wow, I
way.
want to live in your world where you can
Okay,
expect all that.
let
I'm
me
rubbing off
explain.
on you.
Because the way I look at it is this is a 2 hour movie and
Mm-hmm.
it has to end. And
Mm-hmm.
obviously, as I'm watching the movie, I'm seeing how far the plot is progressing, and I'm seeing the tone of the movie. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna put two and two together and be like, okay, they're gonna save the world, and that's what happens. They save the world, and like that's it. Like it's not to me, it's not like great, and it's not bad either. It just is what it is. Like I didn't
Dude,
get anything out of it.
dude, are you kidding? So, spoiler alert, they turn into a giant robot the size of the planet, punch the Earth so hard that it bursts and turns into a fire dragon, flies into the sun, blows up the sun, lights the entire universe on fire, and creates a wormhole that sucks the Earth's core into an alternate dimension. And you're telling me that wasn't satisfying?
Honestly,
That ending was so
I was
hype, it killed my brain functions.
honestly I was kind of like sleepy at that point in the movie. I was like okay, to me this whole movie was just like a really long, interesting music video. Like you see what I'm
Yes.
saying? Like it's like
Mm-hmm.
it's just like it's good entertainment, but I don't really
Mm-hmm.
see it as like I don't know. I don't see it the action, yeah, it was all really cool, but like to me, I guess I separate that from like the ending, right? Like the way you describe the
Mm-hmm.
ending, it was cool. Yes, all of that stuff was really cool,
Mm-hmm.
but that doesn't factor into what I think about the ending story wise. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I bet if. But you say the Parasite was good. Okay, okay, that's fine. That's
Yeah.
fine. I guess we can agree to disagree.
Because Parasite had an interesting that I had no idea how it was. This I knew how it was going to go from like the first 5 minutes, and so from there it's really just a point. It's really just a matter of
Okay, where's
how
the
cool
Sun
is it going to
Dragon
look?
coming out?
Like
Like,
the
when are they going to turn into a giant robot and blow up the universe? Come on, I'm waiting. I'm waiting.
well, basically, there's no way this movie could like it would have been very hard for the creators to fail in the
Mm-hmm.
ending, right? It would have been very hard
It's Trigger. It could have been really easy for
because
them to fail.
you're saying you're saying like oh they stuck the landing, but like I mean they just jumped like a 1 foot pole. Like there wasn't much of a landing to stick. It's just like just like a standard story. There's nothing really special about it, right? It's to me
Have you
it's all
seen
just about like
Trigger's?
the action and how cool the action is.
Have you seen Trigger, like Darling in the Franxx, Gridman?
Yeah,
Like,
but I haven't watched them completely, so I don't know how those.
no, like, Gridman's ending might have been. Let me say this. I think of the recent Trigger properties I've seen, so Little Witch Academia, Panty and Stocking, Darling in the Franxx, and SSS Gridman. I think Trigger had probably the best ending. Or Promare had the best ending.
Okay, I mean, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'll take your word for that. To me, that just makes me think those endings must be absolute garbage because this ending is not like especially.
Mm-hmm. Again, they lit the entire on fire. Come on, man.
Wait. So this is kind of off topic, but even Little Witch Academia had a bad ending.
I didn't get to the end of Little Witch Academia yet. Sorry.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, because I've only watched like the first few episodes of that, but I would be very surprised. That's also one of those shows where to me it's like there's no landing to stick. Like
Mm-hmm.
you would have to be just really bad to mess it up. Like I feel the same way about this. Like with Promare, literally all you have to do is what you said. Like just give him a cool final scene at the end where he gets into a robot and saves the world, right? And then from there the only question is how big and extravagant can you make it, right? And that's it. And yeah, there you go. You stuck the landing. Good job, And it's good. It's fine. Like there's nothing wrong with it.
You Philistine, you can't appreciate the magnificence of idiotic spectacle. Dude, this was the first action movie I've ever where I had a hangover coming out of it. That's like, imagine you eating spicy food all of your life, and then you take that one of those like ghost pepper challenges, and you have to go to the hospital. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Plus, I saw it in theaters, and it was even more like, holy crap.
What?
And I was like laughing because like there was literally one guy like a row behind me just like snoring his butt off like near the end. I was just like,
you see,
the heck were you smoking?
I can kind of sympathize. I really can. Because like it's all of this stuff is nice, right? It's nice. Mm-hmm. But like I said, that's the reason I said it's like a music video to me, because it's like it's just like, I don't want to trash on the movie because it's such a beautiful movie, but like I don't really see that much substance there, right? So I can understand why you could get bored. Mm-hmm. You know, like that goes into why I was saying it's a really good thing this a movie and not a show, because if it had been even 30 minutes long, I probably I don't know if I would have continued. Like, I feel like these kinds of things are better short because you can just experience them for how crazy they are, and you don't have to think too much about it.
I agree.
Yeah. So yeah, like what do you think about like the?
I absolutely loved it. My only issue was there were a lot of 360 shots, like what UFO Table does, but the characters were also 3D, like 3D anime characters.
Wait, are you serious?
And I feel like that was
no.
Maybe it's because I look at that. There's the scene where like Craig is getting ready, is like in the big over the top spaceship, and he's about to summon his giant robot, and they get that 360 shot around him. That was all CG.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like I stare at like 3D CG stuff a lot. Yeah, and for me personally, I can pick up that stuff really fast. And part of me kind of wished they either just did the hand draw in the 360 sequence around the character, or they just made everything the same 3D, because the 3D was good in that.
Yeah,
and when they were using it for the giant robots, it looked really great. The moments where the actual human characters were CG, that really took me.
Oh yeah, for me, it felt pretty seamless to me. I didn't even realize there was any CG. Well, I didn't realize there was any CG for the characters. Mm-hmm. It for me, it meshed really well. I didn't even. How did you feel about like the designs of the mechs and the shits? I like the burnished designs so much. I like them way more than the mechs, actually.
I loved all of this. Yeah. Like, after, like, I was about to say Trigger does a lot of design work, but I just remember Darling in the Franxx and 70% of the mechs in Gurren Lagann, and that kind of made me pause for it. But I loved all the designs, like the designs, the mech design, the environment design, cinematography. All of it was just so good. Yeah, and it escalated. Like, I loved its level of like a lot of times. So I was like watching like Birds of Prey, the Harley Quinn movie, and there were a lot of moments where I was like, they could have taken that a step further in the spectacle. It's like you watch a fighting game, you watch a dude like fire off a 3-hit combo in a fighting game, and you're like, he could have gone for a 4th hit. Like, I've never had that problem watching this.
To me, I feel, to be honest, if you think something should go a step further, then it's probably at the right place. Yeah. But and I will say also, like, one thing about the fights was it felt like, how do I describe it? It was like too disorienting. The cinematography during it was, for me, I don't know if that's how it was for everyone, but for me personally, it was really hard to tell spatially where the characters were and what was going on. And it felt like I was watching something at 1.5 speed, you know? Even though it was like, did you get that feeling?
I definitely got that feeling. And
Oh,
honestly,
okay.
that's kind of one of the reasons I really liked it. Because I feel like the reason I love movies like this, because another movie that has the same exact problem was the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie.
Mm-hmm.
But after you watch it a second time, it kind of becomes a lot clearer. And again, I like it when movies give me a good reason to rewatch them. Like stuff like Spider-Verse, Parasite, and Promare. I really like it when it's good the first viewing, but it gets better and it's a lot easier to watch it the second viewing.
Like, I think to me, it was just like, yeah, it was hard to figure out what was going on. But I guess I'm also starting to think maybe this is one of these that I might have enjoyed it even more. I might have enjoyed those fight scenes a lot more if I watched them in theater, because the fight scenes almost felt like, I guess part of the reason they felt like it was kind of in first person, like you were right inside the fight. Like in a lot of movies, the fight scenes are like you're definitely outside of the frame and you're watching the fight happen and you know what's going on. But in this movie, it felt like you were inside of it, like, and in the thick of it. And I feel like maybe if you're like in a dark room and it's like a big movie theater screen, that probably looks really cool. Whereas I was just watching it like,
it makes it worse. Like,
it makes it what?
If you watch, it makes it harder.
Oh.
Because it's just more stuff going straight into your face. Like, if this was a 3D movie, you'd be puking into your freaking popcorn.
Yeah, but
floors would be even more stickier.
But that's what I mean. Like, maybe that's like, even though it would make it harder to understand, maybe that's still like, it's a unique experience, right? Like, if it's like, it makes you feel like, if you feel like if you're watching it in theaters and you feel like you're inside of the fight, even though you don't understand what's going on, you're confused about everything, it's still cool because it's like a different thing where you feel like you're inside of it. So,
right.
Yeah, it has like I guess it has its flaw. But yeah, but otherwise though, I mean, like I keep saying, it's beautiful. Like the color scheme, the color coordinations, amazing. Character designs, amazing. Everything, just like, yeah, awesome.
So I'm gonna ask you a hard question.
And also, oh, sorry, go ahead. Yeah. Oh well, okay. So I'll add, yeah. Also, another thing. I know I was like ragging on the story earlier, but thematically, it actually gets into like some pretty interesting themes, like how like the Burnish people are like discriminated against, and yeah, like for like a short 2-hour movie to get into that.
Yeah.
So what are you gonna say?
So let me ask you a hard question: Promare or Spider-Verse?
Spider-Verse.
Really?
Yeah. Spider-Verse looks just as good as Promare and has a better story.
I kind of oof. Honestly, like, those are 2 favorite all-time animated movies. But I think if Spider-Verse is a 90%, I would say Promare is a 91. Because I'm a lot more biased towards the anime. I felt that the designs in Promare were a lot better. I felt the fight scenes were a lot better as well. But I will agree that Spider-Verse had a better story and it had a better story, and I appreciated the use of the different styles.
Yeah,
like,
true.
Promare tried to mix the cel-shaded characters, and it kind of fumbled with that, and that was kind of a hit against it. And yeah, again, the story was a bit of a hit as well. But I definitely think the animation of the overall spectacle of everything jived with me a lot more. Yeah.
Yeah, to me, like I keep saying, Promare is like a really good top-notch spectacle. Spectacle-wise, this is as good as it gets, you know. But yeah, I would put I said easily. I don't know about easily, but I would like put Spider-Verse solidly.
All right, yeah. So scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate it?
I would probably give it. Wait, what would you rate it? Good. What would you rate it?
My instincts want to rate it a 10. My brain makes me want to rate it a 9.
Go with your instinct. Didn't you say this is your favorite movie of all anime movie? Okay, well then there you go. Because if maybe I don't know. I have many theories about how you can rate something, but I feel like if you try to rate something on a scale of like how objectively, and I'm putting objective in quotation marks, on how objectively good it is, there's nothing that can actually be a 10 because there's nothing that's perfect. There's nothing that's perfect, right? So then in that case, you might as well just rate, like, have whatever the best thing you've seen be a 10 and then rate everything else from.
Let me say this movie had so many of the things I just love about anime in it that it makes it really hard to be objective of it. Like, my number one issue is that the plot kind of meandered, but just the sheer spectacle of everything was just
Yeah, I see. I understand. I can I also like spectacle. For me, like, it doesn't, it's like, it's kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of like eating like vegan meat. It's like, it's good, you know, and it's like, but it's not like it's like, if you had the story in there, oh my god, it would take it to another level, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
I would put, like, pretty much, no offense to this, because it's good, like, it's good. This is really good. No offense to Promare. But I would put, like, any Ghibli movie, like, without much problem. But also, then again, that's probably not saying much, because the Ghibli movies are really good. So
yeah,
that's probably not saying.
It's funny because, like, I was rewatching, like, Keep Your Hands Off the Aizoku, and I remember the scene where they're, like, with a girl, one of the main characters is, like, marveling at, like, the quote unquote Ghibli film, and it makes me think back, because, like, wow, they were marveling at that, where I was, like, marveling at the old 80s Transformers TV show, or, like, the 5 frames of animation that would be in every episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Wait, did she actually say that for, like, those specific words for Dragon Ball Z?
No, I'm just saying, like, that's what I was saying about myself.
Oh, okay. I see. That's funny. The 5 frames. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Like, there's plenty of shows. There's plenty, like, I can list countless things that I like more than the Studio Ghibli. Technically, not any good. So that,
let me say this objectively, I can say that the Studio Ghibli movies were better.
Were what?
That's a hard objective statement.
Say it again.
God damn it! I would say that, like, objectively speaking, the Ghibli movies were better.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I would say so. Like, better than Promare?
Yes.
Ooh, wow.
That's hard for me to say.
But, like, you see, I don't understand why there has to be, like, a distinction, because, like, everything's pretty much
yeah.
You know, there are people who can, I'm sure, can argue that Promare is technically than Ghibli. I don't know. It just depends what you care about and what you Yeah. I mean, like I said, though, I feel like I spent more criticizing this than praising it, but let it be known, I have a lot of respect. Beautiful. It's so nice. And I feel like this is kind of like I'm not like a huge action fiend like you are, but like for an action fiend, like, this is exactly what you would want, right? Like, nothing can beat this, and I can see that. I might not it might not necessarily for me, but I can definitely appeal.
If I had my chance to direct an animated film, it would be like this. It would have, like, the spectacle of this and the writing of Spider-Verse.
Yeah. Whew, that would be.
All right. Anything else?
Give me one. Yeah. No.
All right. Yeah. That has been the amazing podcast and Promare. Awesome film.
All right. Yeah. Great. Oh, one last thing. Sorry. It was really funny, and I feel like you probably appreciated this a lot when Gallo/Kamina couldn't get motivated to fight because the mech didn't look cool enough. Yes,
I love that. I love the hell out of that.
I was like, I feel like if you were an anime character, that would be you. And honestly, I was with him, to be honest. I was kind of surprised. I was like, wait a minute, you're gonna end the movie in that mech? Like, really? I was getting ready to, like, make comments about it, like it didn't look cool enough. Same. And then it was like they read my mind. Okay, so yeah. Thank you for watching. That's been and next time.